Hi, and welcome to another of our instructional videos for VACON 100 AC drives. Let's take a look at the main menu screen and go through the features listed there. The first item you'll see on the list is Quick Setup. Quick Setup provides a list containing a number of wizards that guide the user through startup, going through the most important settings one by one, and asking for the required values for each one. Most of the time, these parameters will be sufficient for the user's requirements, and parameters not included are only required in specialized situations. The user can choose between a startup wizard, a standard wizard, PID wizard, and local remote wizard. Next down on the main menu list is the Monitor menu. Here, users can view all monitor values in the drive, which are grouped into various subgroups. Exclusive to the VACON 100 series, VACON has introduced a multi-monitor menu, in which users can check up on many monitor values on one screen view with the ability of changing the grid size. You can also change the screen dimensions, with the option of showing values 3x3, 3x2, or 2x2. Another cool new feature is the ability to show trend curves. This will be especially useful when the user wants to see monitor trends which have occurred over the course of an extended period of time, or when two signals need to be monitored simultaneously. Next on the main menu list are the Parameters menus. These consist of all the available parameters which are used to fine-tune a drive's functionality. Unlike the Quick Setup parameter lists, this gives you the opportunity to change any parameters available to your specific requirements. In the Diagnostics section, users can find out information about active faults that may occur. If the drive has tripped out on a fault, access the list to check the latest faults history. You can reset faults here, get information about which software versions are used, and check drive counters such as running time or kilowatt hours of energy taken from the grid. Further information can be found in the VACON 100 product pages or in your product's application manual. Thanks for listening. Hi, and welcome to another of our instructional videos for VACON 100 AC drives.
Clicking on the Input-Output menu allows you to see what hardware is connected to the drive. This could refer to input-output boards, real-time clock batteries, field buses, or anything else you add.
User Settings contains basic requirements, such as language selection. And parameter backup, which allows you to save parameter settings to the keypad. This has a number of benefits. It saves settings in case something goes wrong with the drive, or there is a power cut, and it also saves time when multiple drives need to be commissioned. You can save parameter settings to the keypad in much the same way you would save a document on your computer to a USB stick. Once commissioning has been done, simply select Save to Keypad, and, when you need to apply it to another drive, insert the keypad into the drive and select Restore from Keypad. Next up is another new feature exclusive to the VACON 100 series, the Favorites menu. Here you can collect your own sets of parameters and values to store in a list. This might be useful when an experienced electrician has set up the drive and a machine operator who isn't quite as technically adept is put in charge of the day-to-day running of the drive. With the Favorites menu, the electrician can narrow his options down so that it is easy for the operator to know which parameters to select.
The final section in the main menu is User Levels. This is another new section that won't be used until after commissioning. It's for when critical settings are made, which you don't wish to be changed. Enter a password and set the user level to Monitoring, which means that the only thing you can access in the main menu are passive elements, like the monitor values. You also have the option of locking the keypad. Finally, we should say a quick word about the help texts that are available within the keypad. Every parameter and monitor value comes with a help text explaining the relevant meaning or function to make sure that you know what you're dealing with. Press OK when highlighting a value or parameter and choose Help from the menu that appears. Hopefully this gives you a clear idea of the possibilities available with your keypad. Further information can be found in the VACON 100 product pages or in your product's application manual. Thanks for listening. Hi, and welcome to another of our instructional videos for VACON 100 AC drives. In this one, we'll be giving you a brief introduction to the keypad, explaining some basic navigation around the main menu, and pointing out a couple of features exclusive to the VACON 100 series. First things first, here's a quick explanation of what each of the buttons do. Use the arrows in the middle of the keypad to navigate up and down the lists. You can then press OK to enter menus and confirm a selection. The back button in the top left corner is used to return to the previous view or to reset faults when on parameter pages. Finally, the Function button in the top right of the screen allows you to switch between local or remote control in one action. In this case, local control refers to operating the drive with the keypad, whereas remote control would typically input-output terminals or a field bus solution. Now you know how to navigate using the keypad. Further information can be found in the VACON 100 product pages or in your product's application manual. Welcome to another instructional video from VACON. In this one, we will be talking about the Drive Customizer tool, which you can access from our website, www.vacon.com. VACON Drive Customizer is a block programming tool which allows you to easily make the kind of small application changes that would previously have required a call out to a qualified programmer. While you will need a certain level of understanding in order to use Drive Customizer, it is more user-friendly than the Drive programming tool. For instance, you won't have to learn source codes, and basic PLC programming skills should be sufficient for use. Drive Customizer can be accessed through the VACON Live PC programming tool. Let's assume you have VACON Live installed on your computer and that the PC is hooked up to your VACON AC drive. When the pop-up box appears, select the drive from the list. VACON Live will then start to upload the relevant parameter. With the Drive Customizer, the user can select a default list of parameters that can be changed when needed. Once this group has been uploaded to VACON Live, the Drive Customizer can be opened. You'll know this has happened because the Drive Customizer icon will appear in the toolbar at the top of the screen. To create a program or set of parameters, click on the icon and the Programming Mode window will open with a series of function blocks, each with 3 inputs and 1 output. Here, you can run up to 10 different function blocks at any given time. By right-clicking on one of the blocks, a drop-down menu can be opened, from which you are able to select different functions, such as logic gates and comparisons. These 10 blocks can either be combined or connected to each other, or, alternatively, you can make the block output act as a virtual analog or digital input for the drive. To give an example of what can be done in the Programming Mode window, let's play around with it a bit. Each block has a set of different functions that can be used, such as gates, mathematic functions, comparing functions, and so on.
From the drop-down menu, one of the options is GT, which stands for greater than. This compares inputs. Here, input 1 and input 2, so that when input 1's value exceeds that of input 2, the output block of 1 will become positive. Once the function has been selected, it's possible to start setting the input values. This can be done by clicking on Input 1 and selecting which value and parameter settings to use. The desired monitoring value or parameter can be identified from the list of ID numbers. Here, analog input 1 has been selected. Then compare this to a constant fixed value, which is selected by right-clicking and selecting Constant from the drop-down menu. Then a value needs to be selected. This time, let's enter 1000. Since the parameter ranges from 0 to 10,000, 1000 makes up 10% of the capacity. So when the analog input is greater than 1000, the output will become positive. Since the drive customizer is still in drive programming mode, if we try to activate it, or try to change the analog input value, it will not react, whatever happens. The Disable Programming Mode icon in the top left corner needs to be clicked to remove it. Once clicked, the screen turns gray and no settings can be changed. By clicking this blue icon in the Parameter Browser toolbar, the values can be monitored directly. So from here, it can be seen that the value is changing. So long as the value remains below 1000, the output will stay inactive at 0. However, when analog input 1 is turned up a bit more, to take it above 1000, we can see the output go to 1. The drive is still inactive, since the signal hasn't been given to the Start command. Activating the drive can be done from the Parameter Browser window in the list of digital input options. By selecting Control Signal 1A, the Start command is selected in slot 1A. This is now the first digital input on the control board and will be designated as block output for block number 1, once OK is pressed. Now to demonstrate this, we can also check it from the analog monitoring signals. When the Special Type Editor window appears, select Output Frequency for monitoring and then select the analog input. Now Monitor 1 is selected and a monitor window will appear, in which we can view the trends occurring within the selected set of monitoring values. The green line indicates the value of the analog input, while the red line shows output frequency trends. This will also show that the motor is getting speed reference in order to turn. When the Start command is activated, the Run indicator will turn green. When we try to change the analog input, you can see the value goes up, but the run remains still gray, and the red line remains rooted at 0 Hz. However, when it reaches that 10% level, the value which is being monitored, analog input 1 in this case, turns green, and we start to feed a frequency reference to the motor so that it is turning. When the frequency drops below that level, the motor stops. Of course, this is just one example out of hundreds of different functions available in Drive Customizer. To learn more, speak to one of our training guys about how you and your VACON product can benefit from it. Thanks for listening. Hi, and welcome to this short instructional video from VACON. Today we'll be talking you through how to connect the power cabling to your VACON 100 AC drive and pointing out a couple of neat new features along the way, which are designed to make setup and installation as straightforward as possible. First off, make sure that none of the components are live, and that the supply cables, which connect the grid to the drive, and the motor cables, which separate the drive to the motor, are separate from all other wires and cables. The mains cable's earth conductor should remain intact, while the motor cable's earth conductor should be stripped like this and left hanging loose. Loosen the screws in each corner and remove both the VACON 100's main cover and its power terminal cover. Now you may have noticed a set of cable grommets down here on the table. VACON 100 comes with these to ensure that the drive is fully sealed and receives maximum protection from external factors such as dust or moisture. Since you will need to do the sealing yourself, it's important to know how to do it in a way that ensures the sealing is airtight. The cable grommets need to be cut open enough that they just allow the cables to pass through them without letting anything else reach inside the drive. The second notch from the tip should be fine for this. Once they're cut, pass the supply and motor cables through the grommets. It's now time to ensure the cables are connected to the inbuilt 360-degree grounding. This is another new benefit the VACON 100 offers, ensuring that no external cable clamps are required, which saves on costs, time, and space. Here's how you set it up. First, place the cable entry plate, complete with cables threaded through the grooves, onto the drive's frame. Now that the shield's 360-degree grounding has been established, the conductors should be ready to be connected. Connect the supply, brake, and motor cables conductors to the correct terminals, which can be identified by the labels on the sockets: L1, L2, and L3 for the supply cable, and U, V, and W for the motor cable. If all has gone according to plan, your drive's power cables should now be connected and ready for action. Thanks for listening. Hi, and welcome to another VACON 100 Flow instructional video. In this short film, we'll be showing you how to hook your drive up to your PC for remote programming. With our great online software program, VACON Live, you can ensure all parameters and monitor values are as they should be, monitor the drive's activities, and find out more about your VACON product's capabilities. First things first, let's show you how you connect your AC drive to a PC. It can be linked up either with a USB cable or using Ethernet connection. Both are done pretty much the same way, and VACON 100 Flow has ports for both. While both work in a similar manner, the Ethernet connection will be quicker. Since it's quite easy to run your AC drive through the keypad that comes with the drive, you might be wondering why you would bother to connect through your computer. VACON Live has a couple of features which make it significantly more convenient. For starters, it acts as a great depository for parameters and uploads, ensuring that your settings remain secure regardless of any problems the drive or application may encounter. To save parameter and monitoring values to your PC, take the following steps. We will assume you have already downloaded VACON Live, which can easily be found on the VACON website. Once you've done this, remove the keypad from its slot on the drive and insert the USB/RS485 cable into the port. In VACON Live, select Online Mode and device scanning will start automatically. Once the computer has finished scanning, select a drive from the list. You can select as many drives as you have USB ports linked. For now, let's assume you have one drive connected, in which case there will only be one option on the list. Once the drive has been selected, VACON Live will start to transfer the database to the PC. This may take some time the first time around, although once monitor values and parameters have been transferred onto the database, they will not need to be uploaded again. This will help speed up the data upload process the next time you connect a drive to VACON Live. Once all the parameters and values have been uploaded, you are ready to start using VACON Live. All the parameters and attributes are shown clearly in the VACON Live parameter browser. A number of features here make it easier to manage the various values. For instance, you can edit parameters simply by pressing Enter on your keyboard, which takes you into edit mode. From here, set a new value and press Enter again to confirm. Alternatively, you can simply type in the name or ID number into the search bar at the top of the screen. Just like when using the keypad, help texts are provided for each parameter and monitoring value, giving valuable explanations for the things you might be unclear with. For more in-depth guidance, you can access Help by pressing F1. This will open up PC Tool Help, which will give information on each window, explaining what you can do and what icons mean. You can convert this content into a PDF for printing or future reference. Help also allows you to make sure you have always got the latest version of VACON Live. Simply click on Check for Updates to see whether a new version is available. Through VACON Live, you can view monitoring trends for set periods of time. It's easy to do. Simply open the monitoring window, go to Settings, and set a suitable sampling interval and time format. It can either run in real time, known as drive time, or start from 0 when the monitoring begins. To monitor a number of separate values at any given time, simply click Add in the bottom left corner of the screen and select the parameter or value which you wish to monitor from the list displayed. You can also send signals from parameter window to monitoring window, either by clicking with the right button on your mouse and selecting a pre-existing monitoring window from the list, or by creating a new window. You can show as many signals as you like, and they can be added to any monitoring window open. While monitoring the drive, VACON Live is constantly on the lookout for faults, so that if and when one occurs, it is immediately brought to the user's attention. If a fault occurs while the drive is running, the drive will stop automatically. The fault will immediately appear in the status bar and can be identified by the fault code number, while the fault ID number will help give more information about status of the fault. The fault diagnostics window will open automatically. The fault values will be saved to the drive, and the data can be served for further use as a diagnostics fault data file. All faults are saved in fault history. Another handy tool you get with VACON Live is the Service Info feature. To access Service Info, go to Drive in the toolbar and select Service Information from the drop-down list. A window will then open. Click OK to start loading a service information report. You can add user comments and press OK, or, alternatively, simply click No Comment. Once all the data has been gathered, a pop-up dialog will appear where you can name the service information file and either locate on disk or send via email according to your needs. The service report will be saved to your hard drive as a file, which you can then open in the location you desire. The Service Info page gathers and collates all necessary information from the drive and PC and gives fault logs, which you can send to a VACON Service Center for further analysis when necessary. This saves time and money, since it means that all the data can be collected from the drive site and service site so that a VACON technician will only have to visit your site if strictly necessary. You can save almost all data compiled from VACON Live to your hard drive for later use, such as if you need it while offline. For further information on PC programming, you can check out a more detailed walkthrough of the entire VACON 100 setup on the vacon.com website, where you can also find application manuals for all the VACON 100 products. Thanks for listening. In today's world, space comes at a premium, and companies are on the lookout for the most versatile and compact solutions available. AC drives have traditionally required cabinets and engine rooms in order to function at their best. This setup takes up room that may not always be available and requires a costly network of long motor cables to send power from the drives to the motor. Decentralized AC drive solutions provide an answer to this issue. Attaching the drives as close to the motor as necessary means there's no need for cabinets or engine rooms, which frees up space and reduces cabling costs. VACON 100X and VACON 20X are two decentralized drives that come with IP66 Type 4X outdoor enclosures. These enclosures provide full protection from external hazards, allowing the drives to be located as close to the motor as necessary. This means that customers don't have to worry about spending extra money on shielded cabling. VACON 20X is the most compact IP66/UL Type 4X drive on the market, while VACON 100X offers more power than any other drive with the same protection, up to 37 kilowatts. They both have a pressure equalizer vent around the enclosure, which acts as a barrier against condensation, dust, and dirt. Compactness makes the drives easy to transport and install, and since they are highly resistant to external factors, the maintenance costs should remain low throughout the product lifecycle. In the past, decentralized AC drives have been seen as a niche product for highly specific situations. With IP66 protection, the scope is widened immeasurably. Industries like food and beverage, marine and offshore, HVAC, agriculture, and plastics and chemicals all stand to benefit from a drive which takes up little space and can be located in harsh environments. IP66/Type 4X enclosures mean the two drives are suitable for scenarios unreachable for just about any other product on the market. In particular, outdoor applications become a lot more viable, as the enclosures are far more effective than cabinet solutions at preventing dust and moisture from affecting the drive's mechanisms. Applications such as outdoor applications, retrofit, pumps, vents, conveyors. Since VACON 100X and VACON 20X are new, unique products, possibilities will continue to emerge as the industry wakes up to what's on offer. Right now, they provide a comprehensive, decentralized solution for just about any environment you can throw at them.